All right, moving on with our Wes Craven-a-thon. We have The Hills Have Eyes. The Hills Have. The
What?
Hills.
The hills have eyes.
Yes. Um,
Eyeballs.
yeah. So here is the beautiful Arrow set that I am not sure why I own because I'm not a fan of these movies, but the box looked pretty.
It does
I
look
saw
pretty.
I saw a pretty box. I actually bought
Aw.
the second one first, and that one's even worse.
But
And
you
then
like
I
the
saw it,
box.
and I have the other one that looks just like this for part two, and I was just like, I want to watch this. Or own this, I'm sorry. I've already watched it. Now too many times. Once was enough for me. Zero would have been enough. Anyways,
Whoa.
so yeah, I'm not a fan of this movie, and I'm not a
Ah.
fan of The Last House on the Left either. As I've said, I do want to say I did give this and the last movie a fair shake. I went into it like, no. I'm going to be totally open, and hopefully my opinion changes on a lot of Wes Craven films. But so far, I'm 0 for 2 again. And I don't see it changing anytime soon, but we'll see. I'm open, and I don't hate this movie.
That's
I
good.
think that there's things about it that are cool,
Yeah.
right? But I also just find the villains to be silly. I find the characters to be annoying or dumb in a lot of situations. And I don't like how this is shot. I don't like, there's just a lot of things about it. I'm just like, this leaves a lot to be desired. But what do you think, first time viewer?
I liked this more than Last House on the Left.
That's not saying anything.
I mean, I just want to say it.
So did I.
Yeah, I mean, I think both this movie and The Last House on the Left, like, the villains are pretty laughable, for sure. But I feel like, this movie, it does isolation really well, like, with the situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, the family is broken down in the middle of, like, nuclear testing zone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a scary situation to
Yeah.
begin with. And
Yeah.
then, the idea that there's these people out there that are going to come and try and, like, hurt you and take your babies and are killing you off. I think that's actually really scary. So I like that concept, but I wish that the family or whatever, the people in the hills, I don't know what they're the planets, because they're all like
Jupiter.
I wish that they were more intimidating, and especially, I guess, since the implication is that they're that way because of the nuclear testing that's done, like there's something wrong with them genetically.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that they were more mutated or like less human. Like they use language fine. I mean, sure, they sometimes talk like cavemen a little bit, like they have their own ways of saying things, but it just makes them sound, and they are dumb. I don't know. It's weird, but it's like I feel like they could have been
cavemen.
Yeah, but I felt like they could have been more monstrous, I guess, is what I would have liked. I would have made them much more monstrous if I had made this movie. But
Budget.
yeah, it is budget for sure. But I like Beast. I like the dog in this. I like that he is
best
like
part of the film by far and away.
He's an actual character, and he
Yeah.
does damage to them. Like, all of that is really cool. I liked the way that the dad looks when he gets burned.
Oh,
Like,
he's terrifying
that's really
looking.
scary.
Yeah.
So there are some effects, that are pretty good. Like, even, and then when the dog's biting, what's his face's ankle, like,
Michael
that looks
Berryman,
good too. Yeah.
whatever his
Seeing
name
him
is.
in this, was fine. His role is like the same as the rest of the family, though, just to kind of speak Neanderthal.
Yeah.
Like the rest of them. But yeah, I don't know. And I think that, like, yeah, there's some dumb decisions, I think, that are made by the family, for sure. Like, the whole way that they get into the situation with, like, when they're driving and the dad's, like, freaking
my
out because
God.
planes are flying over him, and, like, the wife shoves the map into his face, and he's like, Like
And he speeds up.
That's all like
instead of
really
hitting the
stupid.
brake.
Yeah. Like I don't know why he
Which one's the brake?
And he's like an ex-police officer
Yeah.
too, so it's like, wouldn't he be good under,
Under pressure,
pressure?
yeah.
And instead he like freaks out. So that's definitely like, okay, why? But then, you know, once they're in the situation, like they do kind of, I mean, like, you know, going to get help makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? But separating does not make sense. So I don't know really why they separate. I feel like it makes so much more sense if you're going to send people out, like at least send them out in groups where they stick together, and instead it's like the son and the dad split up.
Yeah.
But my favorite character probably would have been the younger brother. I feel like he was the one that was actually aware the whole time and was like trying to keep, you know, things as safe as he could, and he does the most like actionable things.
Luke Skywalker
/ Jean-Claude Van Damme's nephew, like because he's a mismatch of both of them.
Mismatch?
Mix match.
Yeah. Mix
match of both of them. But you know, it's I don't know. Like, other than that, like, it's not, I won't say I love it, because I didn't love it, but I did like it more than The Last House on the Left. And, yeah, we can keep talking about it, but that's all I'll say, because I kind of got off on it.
The Hills Have Eyes remake that they made in the 2000s is awesome. Mm. It's like, everything you want this movie to be, that movie is. Mm-hmm. That movie's violent and gory as hell, and the freaking villains in it are monstrous and scary as hell. Mm-hmm. Right? So like they kind of took everything that you just said there and were like, let's make this movie that way.
I think, like, so the budget thing, right? Like, you can have low budget films. I mean, we've watched plenty of them that are effectively really scary and disturbing. And, you know, one of the shorthand ways of doing that, of course, is like, if you don't have effects for something, like, don't show it as much, right? Like, so if the family hadn't been seen as much and we were just hearing them or just seeing, like, these, like, shadows in the freaking desert, I think that would have made it more... you know, it would have upped the horror for me, because the way they look and the way they act just kind of brings this element down where it's like, I didn't feel like they were as powerful and strong and as like cunning as they sort of were meant to be perceived as.
Yes.
And like, it just felt like the biggest guy was, what's his name?
Jupiter.
Yeah. And he wasn't even that big. Like, he was supposed to be the
Father
big...
Jupes.
The one that was, like, 20 pounds coming out.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, I don't know. I think that showing them so much and them looking so kind of hokey with their, like, freaking bone necklaces and stuff, like, it just...
He's no bigger than me.
No.
Guaranteed.
He needed to have been, like, massive and, like, a really intimidating presence. And instead, it's just kind of like... It's just, like, crazy guy living out in the wilderness, which... I mean, yes, there is danger in that, and of course the way they act and like the fact that they're like not integrated into society. Yeah. I get it, but yeah.
So I don't know what the very first horror movie was to do the whole gas station warning attendant.
Yeah.
And why our cat is sitting so close to the heater right now.
Oh my god.
She is like, her face is like pressed against the heater right now. Like, she just likes that thing.
Come here, it's too hot for her.
She's just, here's the heater and here's her.
I'm like worried about
How cold are
her.
you? Jesus.
It's not even cold in here. Bean, that's so close.
The dad in this is ridiculous, to say the least. You know, but this is the 70s. I mean, this is 1977. But it's just funny, you know, when you watch movies about cops in the 70s, just how casual
their
like,
racism
is, where they're just throwing hard freaking R's out.
Oh my god, yeah. That, I was like, what?
When I say hard R's, I'm talking about the N-word, of course.
Yes.
Not retard.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's ridiculous for sure. It's definitely dated in that way. It's fun to watch movies.
Mom's like, watch your language.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, see, like, there is some funny parts with the family where he's like, all of the time on the force. Like, I got shot by my friends. I got shot by these people. And the thing that's going to kill me is my freaking wife. And she's just like... it's like
one of these days, Alice.
She gets abused verbally all the time by him. And it's just like,
very apparent.
you.
Very apparent.
Yeah.
It's weird to see Dee Wallace as, like, the daughter. Like, she's supposed to be, like, you know, the kid of one of the kids of the movies, even, you know, because in like E.T. and in Cujo and in, you know, all these other movies that she was in, she always plays like the mom figure.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
but she is a mom in this, so she's like,
kid.
she can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Even when she's like, you know, because this is like her earliest role. She was in the Stepford Wives before this, but like very minor role. This was like her first big role in a film. And it's just funny because like I know her as like the mom of horror.
Yeah, she's
right?
definitely a mom type.
But even in this where she's like the kid,
yeah,
she still is like a kid with a kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, this chick is never not a mom.
That baby is really adorable
yeah,
in the film
cute,
too.
baby.
The outfit that they have her in is like so silly.
Yeah. The crash is so funny. Just like the plane's flying overhead, the map goes in the face, he speeds up, the map comes out of the face, and then a bunny's in the road.
Oh
so he
my
like
God,
crashes the car. And I'm like, dude, I like bunnies. I think they're adorable, and I don't want to hit one with my car.
No,
but I'm
but
not
if you
wrecking
had an RV
Yeah.
and your entire family in the car,
Yeah.
plus a newborn.
Sorry. See, the knock at the cabin wouldn't have been as hard if the decision was between a bunny and my
Sure.
family. It'd be like, bye-bye, bugs.
Aww.
Yeah.
Be sad, but yeah, they crash.
You don't swerve for animals on the road, okay? That's just, you know that. Like, that's like, you know, you don't jam on the brakes when you hit ice, right? Like,
No.
there's certain things you need to know how to drive, and you don't swerve around animals because you will kill yourself.
Yes, you stop.
You try to stop.
You try to stop
You
as
try to
fast
stop,
as you
but you
can.
also don't want to get rear-ended, so you need to know, you need to be very aware of your surrounding. It's hard not to, because, you know, I don't want to hit a cat. I don't want to hit any animal.
No, my cat.
I mean, I'll kind of swerve around them a little bit, like if I can.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Little Beauty doesn't make it very far. She's not very beautiful after she's been gutted.
I hated that.
But this is one of the rare films, and I will give this film all the praise in the world for this. I absolutely love that Beast kills multiple of them, although with the sequel, Michael Berryman comes back, so I guess he doesn't die. But if the sequel didn't happen, it is very obvious that he's supposed to have died by getting his throat ripped out.
Yeah.
But he is like the main hero of the movie.
Absolutely.
And this almost reminds me of Bad Moon with Thor, right?
Yeah.
Where he's like the one who takes on the werewolf.
Sure.
And in this, it's very much like Beast versus the beasts.
Yeah.
And he goes after and he kills multiple of them, and he gets shot at and they ruffle him up a little bit, but he lives.
Because he's a beast.
And he kills 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
It's
I
so
can't wait
cool.
for you to see the opening of part 2.
Oh no.
That's all I can say.
Oh gosh, I'm worried.
It has one of the most iconic scenes in horror.
Well, it's funny too because we were laughing. They talk about how Beast like killed a poodle in Miami or
Oh
something.
my God.
And like,
This was straight up from the
family,
room.
It was so weird. They were like, haha. And then that lady, like, she didn't get stuck paying for poodle vet bills all the time. Or
No,
something.
no. That's not what they said.
What did they say?
She was like, "Oh, remember that time Beast killed that lady's poodle?" And the mom was like, "Oh yeah, she was like, that like put her in a fit or something." And they all laughed. And then the daughter was like, "Yeah, she had to pay vet bills for a dead poodle." And then everyone was like, "Ha ha ha," laughing it up. And I'm like,
So
"Your
awful.
dog
Yeah.
murdered someone else's pet. And you guys think that's hilarious that she was upset about it and had to pay for the poodle's death.
Oh my god, it's so messed up, and it makes me, so I guess, obviously then, this was filmed in the 70s?
77, yeah.
Like...
It was released in 77, so when it was filmed.
I don't know when the laws, because, like, now, like, if your dog attacks another dog, like...
And
kills the dog, a lot of times you have to put your dog down.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that became a thing.
No.
But
This was just a
not
funny
in the
anecdote
70s.
for them.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine. Like, that's so awful.
Yeah.
But Beast, I mean, like, I guess it just, like, illustrates that Beast is a killer, and, you know, that's a good thing.
He'll kill anything.
That's a good thing
Monsters,
in this situation.
poodles,
yeah.
whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was very, I mean, Kayla and I were laughing because it's just very reminiscent of the scene in The Room where, you know, Mark is sitting there talking about how this person's, like, you know, abusing his girlfriend or wife or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Tommy Wiseau, what's his name in that movie?
I don't know.
Whatever the hell it is. He just puts his hands over his head and he's like, ha! What a funny story, Mark.
What a story, Mark.
I know, it's what a story.
What a funny story.
Okay, guys, seriously? Is this not a Mandela effect? Because we all, I swear, everyone is always like, what a funny story, Mark.
It's 100%. Like, it is the same.
But you go
as,
back
like,
and you rewatch it, and it's, what a story, Mark.
Yeah, it's like
There's
the
no
Luke,
funny.
I am your father kind of thing, where it's like, what does he actually say?
Just, no, I am your father.
No, I'm your father. It's the same thing. People, like, are remembering it. It's Mandela. We're in a different timeline. That's what that means.
Sure, but I mean, I have figured that stuff out, though. There's a scene from Tommy Boy. I think it's Tommy Boy. It could be Black Sheep. I don't remember. They're the same fucking movie. But, like, Chris Farley is, you know, in the fan. He's like, Luke, I am your father. And I swear, because of that scene, everyone remembers it as that. Right? But maybe people were saying it before that way. I'm sure they were. But at that point, you can see that it's either made its way into pop culture to the point where Chris Farley's saying it in a movie like that, not knowing that that's not the quote.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of people watch that movie.
And then it just became...
And it's the same thing with the Cable Guy, where, you know, Jim Carrey puts the skin from his chicken on his face, and he's like, hello, Clarice. And so everybody says, hello, Clarice now.
Yeah.
And it's not. That's not the line in the movie. So I do have a feeling that these are just like comedic moments in a film that everyone remembers, and they're remembering them as the scenes from the film.
No, we're in a different timeline.
Right. No, we're in a different timeline. Yeah, what a funny story, Mark. Nope, it's just what a story, Mark.
Yeah, the whole interaction with the poodle thing, like it was very funny and sad.
Maple.
Oh my god, the mom.
Maple. Mom, it's not Maple, it's Mayday.
She's like, oh my god.
That's not Bob. That's not my Bob. That was actually sad.
That was really sad.
She was just in like total denial.
Yeah. I felt really bad for her. Like, I feel like once shit starts happening, like, the family, like, it sucks. I think that they all kind of, they do try to do their best, but, man, I mean, she just, goes into total denial, and then she gets shot, and then dies, which, after watching her daughter die, but she doesn't even remember, because she's like, oh, she's asleep.
What a story, Mark.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, the funniest part of this movie to me, I don't know why I found it so funny, is when Bob, the dad, comes into the gas station and the gas station attendant's trying to hang himself.
Oh, yeah.
And the dad, essentially, paraphrasing heavily here, just is like, stop hanging yourself, loser. And just grabs him and like pulls him down.
Get that
like,
stupid
we don't got time for
belt
this.
off your stupid neck.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
That was
Kill
so...
yourself later, loser.
Yeah.
I got, I need your help.
Oh my gosh.
He's just so blasé about it. Like, oh, come on.
I know.
Kill yourself later.
Like, what? Yeah, the dad is hilarious.
The gas station attendants, like, suicide and whatever, like, is a suicide attempt or whatever, in The Hills Have Eyes remake. Oh, my God. Whoa. Way different than this. And fucking insane. So, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to show you that one, because I actually love that movie. And I quite like the sequel. I know a lot of people hate that one, but it's much better than this fucking movie, in my opinion. I know a lot of people might find that blasphemy. They go fuck themselves.
Well, I mean, without this movie, you wouldn't have those movies, of course. Like, this sets the whole premise up.
No,
and
we don't need the
everything.
second one.
What?
We don't need the second one.
No, I mean, for the remake.
Yeah. I don't care. You said we need these movies.
Oh, we need this movie in order to have, like,
That's what I
the
was saying. We
remake
don't
and
need the
then
second one.
the sequel and the new one.
Or the third one.
Yeah.
Or I should have done this.
What?
The third one.
Oh, the third one.
Mind Ripper.
What?
Yeah. Which is not an official movie, but it is if you got my collection.
Whoa.
Where the hell is it? I thought it was going to be... Oh, there it is. I just can't reach it from here. Oh, well.
Oh.
But, yeah, so I just found that scene to be really, really funny. Another scene, actually, right after that, there's another scene that reminds me of the line in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when Owen comes to pick up, freaking Neil and, why am I blanking on their names right now? Dell. And he comes, it's the redneck guy, right? He walks over.
Yeah.
That guy.
Oh my God, that guy.
Freak, I love you. He's the best.
Oh my God.
He's the best. Anyway, he comes and the girl gets out of the car and they're like, oh no, we got it. And he's like, she don't look like much, but she tough. Her first baby come out sideways. She don't be screaming or nothing.
So great.
Same shit here. He says that the 20-pound baby came out of his wife sideways. And it tore her up. Tore her up? Tore her apart?
20 pounds?
20-pound baby coming out sideways.
Sideways.
Feet, head this way. Okay? 20-pound baby this way.
That is insane.
Do you have any idea
It's
how
so-
open you'd have to be?
Dude, no. Just no. That's awful. Yeah, it's... Oh. And, like, it's weird because, I mean, so the kid is like... Oh, my God. The kid is like that because of the nuclear, like, the toxic waste or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, he was saying that his first baby...
But babies don't come out sideways, no matter how much nuclear.
No,
you could be
but
like,
aren't the
you could be
doctors
giving birth
supposed to,
in
like-
Chernobyl, and babies still would not come out sideways.
Don't you midwives and doctors, like, aren't you able to, like, turn the baby a little bit? Like, if they're, what is it called when they're backwards?
Sure,
Right?
they can try
So,
to
like,
turn
if
them around.
they're sideways, can't you, like, try and, like, flip them?
The baby wouldn't come out sideways, okay? That's not a thing,
Alright.
okay?
Yeah.
Unless it's this big, right? It's not coming out sideways.
Yeah.
Okay, this big, whatever big a baby's head is. Your vagina can only open so much.
Yeah.
It can't come out sideways. A 20-pound baby.
Oh, man. Poor woman.
Yeah, poor woman. All right. Yeah, the dad's burned alive. His corpse looks crazy. Definitely love it. Ruby, poor Ruby. Ruby is like the junior of this movie, right?
Yeah.
From The Last House on the Left. She wants out. She's going to leave because of this. She's a traitor whore. And she's the best of them. She tricks them with a little piggy sneak.
Aww.
And then runs off with the baby and gives it to porn stash wannabe David Schwimmer. And he runs around and then somehow kicks this dude down the hill and is running next to him as he's rolling down the hill. Then the guy goes to follow him because he went around this corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then porn stash Schwimmer is behind him throwing rocks at his head.
Yeah. I don't know how
I didn't
he
understand the
gets over
geography
there.
of that scene at all. Why would you chase after him
And then run
then
around?
behind him
Yeah.
somehow when it's in an open area? None of this made any sense.
No,
None
it
of this made
didn't.
any sense
It
to me.
didn't. It didn't.
Pretty funny shit though. And I will give the credit to the youngest sister who, once her brother's being attacked by Jupiter after he doesn't fall for the frickin', Home Alone trick. Craven's very into the Home Alone shit. He starts getting attacked by Jupiter, and she without any hesitation at all, immediately runs, picks up a hatchet, and starts jabbing it into his back. Thank you, God, on this one. I was
so happy that she acted so quickly and without any hesitation.
How many movies have we watched where the chick is sitting there and she's like, no,
freaking Barbara from, oh my God, Night of the Living Dead, the worst example of that.
She is the living dead.
Yes. Yeah, I hate that. I mean, any character. Because, like, I get there's a point, right, where you're like, oh my God, they're broken, and they're freaking out. But at the same time, I'm like, no, they need to, like, do something immediately. Like, you don't need to think. Like, you just need to act.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would act in those situations. So the amount of times
that
it's always women that are, like, hysterical and not doing anything. It's like... And she is hysterical in this. For good reason. I mean, she just got, like, raped by these Neanderthal men, and, like, her sister-in-law is dead or whatever.
Yeah.
Her dad's dead, and her mom's dead. Like, she's, of course, hysterical, but she still manages to attack.
Yeah. So, really good on her for that. So, thank you for that. Then Ruby goes and wrangles up a 20-foot rattlesnake.
Yep.
And that's a joke from the mom earlier in the movie. If you watched it recently, you'll know what I'm talking about. But she rustles herself up a rattlesnake and makes the rattlesnake bite the dude on the neck, and then the dude, porn stash swimmer, goes and just hacks the guy up.
Yeah.
Which of course we don't see.
Yeah.
And then after that, we have like one of the most abrupt endings you could possibly imagine.